of a scheduled 12. Shane Mosley, by CompuBox numbers, 119 out of 278. Antonio Diaz has thrown almost as many punches, 268, but has landed only 66. So Mosley's quickness and accuracy, the differences in the bout to this point.
Mosley's discouraged because he's not able to get in the body shots that his dad is telling him to do. Because Diaz is a solid fighter as far as the defense of his hands,
all right, come on, let's go.
elbows around his waist. And you just can't throw something because someone tells you to do it.
He's a well-schooled fighter. This trainer, Lee Espinoza, is my choice as the sort of underground star of training in the sport. His fighters can fight. Another knockdown. Another right hand.
5, 6, 7.
And remember, these are the first two knockdowns of Antonio Diaz's entire career.
His head is not clear at all.
That was a real solid knockdown.
And it was something I didn't think that Shane Mosley had because he threw a left jab.
Blinding speed. Can Diaz recover against this? Mercanti Sr. staying out of the way, letting Mosley do his work. Plenty of time left in the round.
Every time we've been in a fight with Shane Mosley, people have stood up in awe of what they were looking at.
And there's the third knockdown of the fight. And again, it was a right hand.
And he made a very, very tough fighter say no mas.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And that is no second-rate opponent.
This is a solid fighter. He had to reach, go down deep, get a lot of energy to do that.
Not today. I'm sorry, son. That's correct. A couple more punches.
So a technical knockout for Shane Mosley. The stoppage by the most experienced referee in the sport. And Mosley, against a very good opponent, closes the show, landing 22 of 34 power shots by CompuBox down the stretch. Let's take a look at a couple of angles, George, of the first knockdown and talk about how Shane sets up the right hand.
He did it with a straight jab sort of a punch. He didn't do it with the hook. That's just surprising. He has something in the repertoire I didn't know. There it is, right on top of the head.
Now here's the second of the two knockdowns in this round.
This was just pure power. You don't hit guys on top of the head like that and knock them down. He's got power. Something you only see in the heavyweights. Watch as he does it on top. Out. That's power.
Give me some deep breath. Deep breath. Give me some. You know how to train. Trust these tired and I don't even tired. You know why you're not tired? You're going to push yourself. If we can, that's what. But when we walk out, we don't want to think.
Here's the replay, Emmanuel.
Yes.
There's a right hand to the body.
Yeah, I don't think that hurt him that much.
And then here's the knockdown punch.
Perfect shot. It didn't even hit the belt line hardly on the trunks too much.
That hurt him, Manny.
Good body shot. Oh, he was hurt there. But his physical side...
They're wiping moisture out of Jones's corner.
His physical size is what has enabled him to be able to absorb those punches.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. 6-0, 60-52. Roy Jones Jr. Gave an extra point for the knockdown in the 6th. Gave him an extra point for the knockdown in the 3rd. In the 6th round, Roy Jones Jr. plunked Glenn Kelly with about 3 or 4 real good left hooks to the body. And then when he finally threw that one that knocked him down, I mean, he had softened them up already because he had hit him so many times in the body. Roy Jones Jr. showing us every move of the book. I love that the way he wobbles that shoulder. Just keeps Glenn Kelly frozen. And he comes in with a hook and the right hand over the top.
You know, this is Roy Jones Jr.'s 24th appearance on HBO. That's more than any other fighter in the history of the network. Snapping a tie at 23, which was held with Oscar De La Hoya. And I'll bet you that in those 24 appearances, Roy has won 90 to 95% of the rounds scored by Harold Letterman.
That's very impressive.
Far more than any other fighter.
He very seldom gets hit.
That punch was low.
That was low, but it wasn't dangerously low. You know, I always wanted to see what would happen if Roy got into a real tough fight. And it's amazing he's had almost finishing his career without ever being in a fight where he had to really dig down.
When you talk about how seldom he gets hit, he's the only fighter in CompuBox punch stat history to have gone an entire round without being hit by his opponent. Benny Pazienza did not land the punch in the 6th round of their fight against each other.
You know, I always say that regardless of what talent you have, it comes a fight sooner or later where your talent will not carry you there because of the style of the opponent or whatever.
Shane Mosley learned that last Saturday night. Again, once again, 3rd knockdown of the night.
Who never saw it.
You know, that's pretty amazing because between rounds, Alton Murkerson, Roy Jones' hand-picked trainer from Pensacola, asked him to go ahead and get the knockout and said, we've got somewhere else to go. I don't know where else they have to go, but they can go now.
They can go. Perfect opponent. Good performance.
Maybe Roy's most crowd-pleasing performance in the past few years.
Yes, he did it. And he needed it, too.
So having watched Bernard Hopkins in Pennsylvania and having been unimpressed,
Still, the undisputed 60-40, pound for pound, Dave and throwing down. Huh? How about your boy? What? Don't play with me. See, Bernard, that's your fault. You pissed me off. Don't get me started.
I think we just did get you started, Roy.
Yeah.
Something got him started.
Yeah.
Go get that album, baby. February 26th, round 1. Respect from the hood, baby. You know what I'm saying? Look out for the boy. Look up the album. Hey.
Larry isn't here to stop him from doing this.
Yeah, Larry.
Let's take a look at a replay of the knockout. Emmanuel, you tell us what happened.
Roy was just getting in a mode of having a good time at this stage right here. And as I was saying earlier, this guy was surviving because he wasn't that aggressive. But once he started coming in and committed himself, Roy just took advantage of him, caught him with a nice counter punch.
Well, Roy found the trick for knocking him out. He put his hands behind his back.
He said, come on. You can't get any better than this. I hope the young fighters out here don't start trying to do that.
Harold Letterman passes me a note and tells me that referee Max Parker Jr. was about to warn Roy Jones for grabbing the ropes. He never got a chance to issue the warning.